Hi, I'm Jane Garapick. Today, we need to talk about a very specific type of guy that you don't want to fall for. You need to avoid this guy at all costs. It's honestly the conversation that you never want to have, but we have to because too much is at stake. There's too much to lose for you. I don't care about him right now. I care about you. See, I spend most of my time on the phone, over Zoom, and on my laptop talking about him. I spent a couple hours just the other day answering an email coaching letter, saying everything that I ever wanted to say to someone on this topic, and it made me realize that this conversation is so long overdue. I also realized just how much it could benefit so many others, so I'm making this video about it. I try so hard to be so gentle with you, bringing you up to your own level of awareness so you can see this for yourself. But this letter I'm referring to, it broke me. She's so young. She has her whole life ahead of her, yet she's wasted years, not months, but years already on this kind of guy that she and all of us need to avoid falling for. He gave her such false hope, gently, tenderly, all under the guise of friendship, playing her by bringing in the words that we live for, words that we all want to hold on to. You're the sweetest person I've ever known, and oh, I love the friendship we have. This is just one woman. But her story is one that I've heard over and over again. It's the same one that I lived through back in my own single days. The kind of guy I'm talking about here is who I like to call Mr. Potential because he's the guy that so feels like the man you want. And when you're in it, it feels like the relationship has so much potential, but it's only because that's all he's given you. The potential of a real relationship, but never actually giving you the real thing. He flitters in and out of your life while he smiles that innocent but not so innocent smile of his, making you feel like this is somehow all about you. Well, meanwhile, he's off looking for something better or maybe just something different. And that's why today I'm talking directly to you so you can hear the truth. If you're in a relationship with someone like this, you need to hear this because no, he does not change. He doesn't get better. This is as good as he's ever going to be. And yes, before you even ask about it, that's even with therapy because you would not believe how many women that I've worked with whose men in question are in their own therapy. Counselors and therapists help, yeah, but the real work, it has to be done by him. And if you're listening to this right now, then you know he's far more interested in finding crutches for his issues than doing the real work of a real lasting fix. These are the men who've had every reason to come around and make that commitment. They've suffered the loss of their fathers, their mothers, their children, their livelihood, their health, almost their very lives. They've had every reason to wake up and do the deep inner work of finding out why they're insisting on blaming everyone else, playing the victim, refusing to look within, and yet even now, with this latest last thing, whatever that might be for them, nothing changes, nothing. When they were younger, they had so much time. They weren't ready or they weren't serious enough to be ready. Or there were always enough women who hadn't yet learned that it was up to them to raise the bar if they wanted to see different behavior in the men that they were attracting, instead of just continuing on with the status quo, allowing yet another place for men like this to go without any accountability at all. Nothing changed, and especially not them because they didn't have to. And more significantly, nothing changed with us either. We learned that if we kept excusing them and their behaviors, it kept them coming around. If we kept looking for the reasons why their behavior could actually make sense, it was easier to blame ourselves, us, instead of fighting with them. Easier over years never, ever equals easier on us when we look back and see what we could have done with those years and we realize what we didn't do with them instead. You're still here, and look, he's still here too, doing what he wants, living his life on his terms, half in, half out. I did an entire video on that a while back, and the link is below in the description if you want to watch that next. But no, he's never really ever here. And yes, it's tragic. Yes, it's sad, epically sad. But you know what's even more tragic? You pining away for him, hoping, waiting, wasting years of your life, and never fully moving on from men like this because you believe in this beautiful thing called love. Well, real love is what you're here for, girl, not this kind. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot easier to find when you're not spending so much of your life waiting for someone like this to finally see what he's been looking at all along. Someone who's going to be amazing with someone else who doesn't just use her, but loves her because he's actually capable of loving her in the first place. That's real, that's honest, and that is love. So now I'll turn it over to you. Are you in a relationship that feels like it has so much potential that you're afraid to leave, but it also seems to be going nowhere at the same time? Tell us about it in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and pass this video along to a friend who needs it too. I'll see you in the next video.